Real quick, I would like to say thank you to Ocean NCS for give he has a he gave me a link to a bunch of free music that like not free music, no copyright music. So thank you. I would like to say thank you to him. Go subscribe to his channel. Now let's get into the video. Today we're taking a look at our brand new team here. So kind of wrapping up what does happen. Emmanuel Mudiay has a pretty good game. He His passing is looking pretty good, but he takes too many risks while passing. He passes the ball into dangerous situations and doesn't turn out well. So another problem that we had was we didn't have any big men really. Most of our big men didn't have good games because they're not exactly built like big men. They have um, they have more athleticism than strength, which is something that we can improve on. Another One person that had a really good game was Cave Felder. He limited his turnovers pretty well, and he shot the three ball pretty well. Emmanuel Mudiay and Archie Goodwin didn't have a good game shooting overall. Ben McLemore is definitely going to be our sixth man. He can be a scorer off the bench for us. Don't want him as a starter, even though his shooting stats are pretty well. The reason I don't have him as a starter is because it's kind of like a Manu Ginobili Jamal Crawford situation where he can be our leader off the bench, or like a James Harden situation when he was on the Thunder still. He can be our guy that comes off the bench and scores for us. He may request to start, but we shouldn't start him. So taking a look at some rumors around for the Pittsburgh Panthers, one thing that they're looking to do is trade away Thabo Cephalosha and Dwayne Dedman. I personally hope that they keep Dwayne Dedman just because he's our only solid big man, but maybe not only solid big man, but he's our only big man that can get rebounds and play defense really, really well. They're also looking to get a lot of picks. They're trying to build their team through the draft or possibly free agency, if there's anyone that's willing to come here. They're looking for specifically they're looking for the Denver Nugget pick, and the Charlotte Hornets pick. Also the Kansas City Knights, the other expansion team. I doubt they'll give up their pick, but you never know. I'm sure they'll value it very high, just like we value our pick very high. Just taking a closer look at some of our players here. So we're starting off with Jerami Grant. He really needs to work on his mid-range shooting. Maybe his outside shooting in general, but specifically his mid-range shooting. So I have his stats from last year. He only shot 24% from 3, which is not good at all. He averaged almost 27 minutes a game, had 10 points a game, and nearly 5 rebounds a game. And he didn't even average an entire steal per game, which is fine as long as he doesn't let up shots a lot. That's his primary thing here. He's a defender. He's a good defender. His three-point shooting definitely isn't great, but it's improved a lot since last year when he was on the 76ers. So moving on to Archie Goodwin. So Archie Goodwin is relatively young. He's still sitting here at 22 years old, which is definitely pretty young. He needs to improve his three-point shooting a lot. I've never seen a shooting guard that can shoot worse than him, if I'm being honest. He shot 23% from the field, or from the three-point line last year. He averaged about 19-20 minutes a game, and he scored 9 points. He's gonna need to bring that up. He's either gonna need to bring that up or his assist numbers up. His assists last year were 2.1 per game. So he's either gonna have to help his teammates to get shots, or he's gonna create them himself. The best way he can do that is by driving to the basket. But that's more of Emmanuel Mudiyay's job, so Not sure how Archie Goodwin's gonna fit in yet, unless he improves. Next up is Emmanuel Mudiay, who really needs to improve his mid-range jumper. It's especially his moving mid-range jumper, because most people can hit an open mid-range jumper that are in the NBA, unless you're like a center that can't shoot, you know. But most point guards will be able to hit it, an open mid-range jumper, so working specifically on his moving one. He's still 20 years old, which is good for us. Last year, he averaged 30 minutes per game, about almost 13 points for us, or for Denver, and had about 5.5 assists per game, and he also had about a steal per game. And so he really needs to improve his shooting and assisting numbers. He's gonna be our star point guard, possibly our future point guard. He's still only 20, so he has a lot of room to improve. His potential is very high. Denver got rid of him because they drafted Jamal Murray last year. So I would have kept Emmanuel Mudiay just because of his potential, but I guess since they figured they drafted Jamal Murray that they don't need him anymore. Next up is Bruno Caboclo. We haven't talked about him much yet, but some things he really needs to improve on are his three-point shooting and his defending. He's a small forward. He came from Toronto before we drafted him, and his shooting just isn't very good. I mean, he is a small forward, but he should be able to shoot as a small forward these days. We just need him to be able to shoot in general. We don't need him to move like we did with Archie Goodwin, because we want Archie Goodwin to be coming off